Hey everybody, it's Travis with Orchid. Today I'm excited to announce that we're live with Gnosis. And in this video, what I want to do is I want to show you how to use the Gnosis chain and Orchid to buy bandwidth on your phone and get VPN-like protections. So Orchid is a decentralized bandwidth marketplace. So providers actually run server software and they stake our currency, OXT, on the Ethereum chain to compete for VPN deal flow as users connect with the VPN app to get privacy from their ISPs and to unblock websites that are cut off by firewalls. They actually pay providers, and they pay providers using our layer 2, which is a system that you can think of as probabilistic rollups. So that's different from a zero knowledge rollup, an optimistic rollup. We have a different type of rollup that allows you to send a lot of off-chain payments and then eventually settle up using probability. So that's a lot. I just want to jump into this now and show you practically how you can get started taking some xDAI stable token on the Gnosis chain, putting it into your Orchid account, and then connecting it to your app, and then getting your app to actually buy bandwidth on our marketplace to get these benefits. So let's get started. So you can start at orchid.com, then go up to our link, create account, which is going to have some documentation about what I just said, about what Orchid accounts are, the different ways that you can self-fund them, where you can find our contract address on all the different chains we support. Then we also have a feed chart here that you can take a look at and see what the different fees are going to be for moving funds into our L2. And basically how much money you're going to need to get. So for Gnosis, it's one of the cheaper chains because of low gas fees. So the higher the gas fees, the larger deposit and balance you're going to need to put into your Orchid account for it to work. So here we are recommending a 4-cent deposit and an 8-cent balance on the Gnosis chain. I'll go ahead and switch this over to USD so you can see what some of the other prices are. This is taking an instantaneous look at the gas prices across these chains. Then it's making a calculation that would estimate how much balance and deposit you would need on average to have a 90% efficiency. What that means is you could expect 10% of your money to go to L1 fees over the course of spending that entire balance down. So for Gnosis, it looks like I'm going to need the fund fee is negligible, and it looks like I'm going to need at minimum a 4-cent deposit and an 8-cent balance. On average, providers charge 6 cents per gigabyte, so this would give me a little bit over a gigabyte if I went with the minimum. You know, I'm probably going to do more than that. I'll probably put maybe 50 cents into this account. And so let's go ahead and get started. So I now know how much money I'm going to need, and I'm going to pick the Gnosis chain. So you can come up here and find the link to our dapp. It is at account.orchid.com. So I'm going to go ahead and connect, and I've now connected my MetaMask wallet. The first thing you're going to need to do is switch over to the Gnosis chain. I already have the Gnosis chain saved in my MetaMask wallet, and I'll add this link to the Gnosis documentation that talks about how to get MetaMask set up, how to set up your wallet on the Gnosis chain, and then also how to get the xDAI stable token into the Gnosis chain on the wallet that you pick. So there's some documentation there that will help you. You're going to need to do this before you connect to the Orchid dapp in order to get this to work. I'll link this documentation below. And so eventually you will get to something that looks like this. It's going to have your Ethereum wallet address. That's your L1 wallet address. And then it's also going to have the amount of Gnosis or the xDAI stable token you have on Gnosis. Now, this is asking for your Orchid identity. Now, what is an Orchid identity? An Orchid identity is your keys that are your L2 keys, really. That's the way to think about it. Orchid has a separate key pair that is used for the Orchid network. So what we're going to need to do is get this key, the public version of this key, which is called the Orchid identity. And this is actually in the Orchid app. So the Orchid app runs on Android, Mac OS, and iOS. I'm showing this demo right now on Chrome browser with the MetaMask extension. That's how I'm connected to the dapp. And then I'm going to show a video of actually my phone and what this looks like on iOS. So here's my iOS device. When I open up the Orchid app, it's going to ask me if I want to buy credits or if I want to import an account. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect an account. So I'm just going to click, I'll do this later to get that little box to go down. And now I have a kind of empty Orchid app that has no gigabytes because there's no account selected. And it's showing that 6 cents a gigabyte is sort of the average of the network. And what I'm going to do to kind of shortcut this is I'm going to go into the circuit builder on the lower right where it says 0-hop circuit. Now, Orchid is the only multi-hop VPN app in the App Store. And what it allows you to do is make as many hops as you would like. So if I go into the circuit builder, I can add a new hop. Each hop is a VPN connection. We support OpenVPN and WireGuard. If you want to add a hop to a server that you already have credentials for, or when you use an Orchid account, you can actually pay for a random hop on the Orchid network. And the randomization of the Orchid server that you get adds a level of privacy and is important for how the underlying internals of the Orchid network work. So I'm going to go ahead and click select an Orchid account. So now it's going to ask me for the Orchid identity. This, when you open the app, it has rolled you a set of L2 keys, and so you have an Orchid identity there. And then it's going to ask for your funder account. So this is your L1 Ethereum address. And so what I'm going to need to do is get this address right here over into the app. And easy way that I like to do that is just with Google Drive. So I go here, I paste in my Ethereum wallet and address, and then I can go back to my app and go ahead and grab that from the Google Doc where I just pasted it. Now you can use Signal, Note to Self, or any other way you can just copy and paste things back between operating systems. I like to just use Google Docs, and obviously if you're using the MetaMask app on your iOS device, you could just copy it from there. Now pick a chain and hit save. And now I basically specified to the app that I have an empty Orchid account. If I tap on the Orchid account, I can see the details of it. And one of the most important things I need now is the Orchid identity. So I need to copy this Orchid identity. I then just jump back over to the Google Doc, paste it in here, and then I can hop back to the front screen and everything's looking good here. So now I have a 1-hop circuit specified. I have an empty account. And now what I just need to do is I need to move some funds into that account on the dapp. So if I go back to the dapp now, this hopefully is making a little bit more sense. It's still asking me, where do you want to send this money? What account do you want to fund? And now, since I've got an account, an Orchid identity that's set up in the app, I can go ahead and pop it in here. And now it's found the same empty Orchid account on the Gnosis chain. And my app and the dapp are both looking at the same Orchid account. So this is really cool. This is basically now the last step. So I just go down here and how much balance and how much deposit do I want to put down. Now, if you go back to the chart, you can see what we recommend. I'm just going to go ahead and put in a 10-cent deposit and a 40-cent balance. Now, the deposit is for preventing double spending on the network, and it specifies sort of the maximum size of the lottery ticket that you can send with the app. So if you have a 10-cent deposit, your lottery ticket sizes are going to be 5 cents. And what that means is you're going to be writing a probabilistic lottery ticket that you're sending to a provider. They have a very small chance of winning that 5-cent lottery ticket, but when they do, it will be 5 cents. So I can see now that this is immediately funded. I have now this account with a 40-cent balance. So the deposit is used to secure the network versus double spending. So the balance is really what is the money that's going to be spent with the providers. So I have, if I pop open the app now, I can actually see that I have 40 cents in my Orchid account. So this Orchid identity is now funded. And you can see actually in the account manager, I have my L2 Orchid identity right there. And then I have the funder address right there too. So Orchid accounts have the notion of two key pairs, the L1 address, which is we refer to as the funder, and then the L2 address, which we call the Orchid identity. So now I can see I have 7.1 gigabytes available on the network. I can hit connect, and now I am going to get VPN service using the Orchid app. After I authorize it, I have to hit connect twice after you authorize. And here we can see now I'm getting connected to a random node. If I load up a web browser now, my IP address will have changed. My internet service provider on this device cannot see what I'm looking at. And also, if I was behind a firewall, it would be unblocked right now. So again, I'd like to just highlight, we really love the Gnosis chain. We've actually been working with them for a while. Our VPN credit system uses the Gnosis chain and the xDAI stable token. So we have a great relationship with them. We're very excited to add this ability to use your own funds to pay for VPN service. And I just made an account with 0.5 xDAI. You can even do less than that. I'm only going to get 7 gigabytes of service, but that is certainly enough to play around with and start seeing the speeds that you can get and how the privacy implications work, and basically just how the Orchid app works. I'd also like to just point out, whenever you disconnect and reconnect, you go through the randomization process again. And so oftentimes if you get one connection on Orchid and it's slow, or maybe the website's not really loading correctly, or if whatever you're trying to do using the Orchid VPN isn't working, we always recommend just hitting disconnect, waiting for it to disconnect, and then hit connect again, because you very likely will get connected to a different VPN provider entirely. It'll be a different location, a different IP address, and that can be very useful for if the first provider doesn't work for you. So I'm going to go ahead and stop there. Please comment, let me know what you liked about this video or didn't like about this video. Please go ahead and try to make Orchid accounts on the Gnosis chain and let us know how it goes. We're really excited to be rolling out all these chain partnerships and getting users building with our decentralized payment network, and really starting to play around with the dapp. So, thank you.